because it's a lovely day. It's a lovely day, and I got things to say. So we landed in a little craftsman in Pasadena, short term, and we're here for a few months, and then off to Costa Rica. And in this house, the person there's gardens everywhere. So there's trees, there's orange, citrus trees. I mean, there's just you can't see it obviously because you're looking at my face, but if you're watching, if you're watching on Spotify, there are bushes and trees and flowers and leaves. Does this episode sound like a Dr. Seuss? Okay, never mind. Anyway, it's very. It feels like I'm on MDMA. The colors are bright, and so I've been enjoying my afternoons in the patio of this short-term rental in Pasadena and just taking in all the greenery. And so that's why I'm outside today doing this podcast episode. So I don't know where you're at, but I want to share a quick story with you, especially if you're driving and someone just cut you off and you feel your heart pounding or you feel like you want to murder someone. This story, I believe, will be helpful. Okay. So I was in an Uber today, and because we only have one car, I've been Ubering around, and the dude starts yelling at me because I said, "Hey, can you make a left here?" And instead of saying, like, the street, I accidentally said, "Can you make a left at this light?" There was no light. And so he was like, "What are you talking about? Where?" Anyway, he started yelling at me. And of course, listen, I'm an Aries. I'm very fiery, and I also have a temper. And so I yelled back, and I said, "Dude, like, relax." Anyway, when he left, I said to myself, "All right, fuck this guy. I'm gonna, give him the worst rating, and I'm gonna, write a horrible review or whatever." Right? I didn't have time to do it because I was headed to the gym. But when you open the app again, it'll ask you to write a review or to give your last Uber ride some stars. And of course, I was going to give him like 1 star, right? After the workout, I have to call another Uber home. And so this guy pops up and it says, write a review. And I took a beat. And this is the part that's important. I thought to myself, what would Justin do? Now, hold on. Now, hold on. I have a story to this. So, if you don't know, I kind of went public with Justin Baldoni, who is going through a lot himself. We are kind of sharing a frequency. For me, it's the collapse and rebirth because of my house. For him, it's career related. I'm sure you know with the whole Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds thing. Um, he invited me up uh, to his house, and we had I think he had a bunch of friends, and it was kind of a I don't know if it was a going away thing, but a lot of men just giving him support, and also us just getting to know each other, and just like a meaningful weekend. And I witnessed at the end, and listen, no cameras, no social media, no one's taking photos or videos. I witnessed him saying a prayer for Blake and Ryan, which he also admitted, of course, him being human, it was hard to do, right? So he was in tears, and we were kind of in a circle, and he wanted to end with a prayer for them. And I remember sitting there taking this in, thinking, "Wow, like how is he able to do this? Like how is he able to have a heart so wide and forgiving that the people that are trying to crucify him, he is, praying for, right? And he's not praying for them like, "Okay, watch out, you guys are I'm coming after you." He's praying for them, like, with good intentions, like, "I want you guys to have a good life. I want you to be happy," like a genuine prayer. And, God, I witnessed this, and it just made me check myself. I joke around and I call him a modern day Jesus, and it's because of shit like this where, like, how are you able to do this? Now, of course, he's human as well, right? But when, I was gonna give this Uber driver 1 star, I said, "What would Justin Baldoni do?" And instead of giving him 1 star, I gave him 5. I gave him 5 stars. And in that moment, I thought, what a powerful way to just take the road less traveled. And then I thought, this is how, like, spirit works in us, you know? Because part of my I don't know what you wanna call it, my rebirth, rebirth is a word that I'm kind of sick of. I feel like I'm always going through rebirth, but, this huge outbreak and, one of the biggest shifts for me since the house burning down has been a spiritual one. It has been a curiosity for something greater, and the people who have showed up, so whether it was, Justin or, we have many friends who have showed up in ways that, just have been nothing but, gifts, and, just holding us, I feel very held by the universe. I feel held by our insurance company. I feel held by, the lady that dropped off pastries when we were, Airbnb at a house in Santa Ana. And, it's gotten me to believe in greater things. It's gotten me to be curious about God, spirit, universe. And I was thinking today, this is how it works, you know? Mad at an Uber driver because he was rude and fighting with you. Decide you want to get him back by giving him 1 star and fucking with his business. Then you are reminded by someone else who displayed compassion, forgiveness, empathy, because something greater was working through him. And because you're reminded of that and how that impacted you, you choose the road less traveled and you choose to give this Uber driver 5 stars. Now, listen, the example of the story I think is powerful because it's so micro, right? It's so like in the mundane. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a big fantastic story where, like someone, I don't know, did something crazy. It's basically instead of giving someone 1 star, I give them 5. But listen, the impact of that because the Uber driver was expecting a horrible, horrible review. And instead I gave him kindness. And I wonder if then that kindness is gonna get him to check himself, and I wonder if that will change him in some way, right? And I think this is how spirit works through us. And I think being a spiritual person isn't just about prayers, um, isn't just about religion or church or I think being a spiritual person is this. I think it's allowing yourself to be changed, being impacted by other humans and stories and how they show up, consider them, and to be sometimes the bigger person. Anyway, I don't know if you are going through um, anything like this today or in your life in general. I don't know if there are people on your mind that you do not wish well. I don't know if you are in conflict with people. It might be your partner. Shit, I don't know. But here's my encouragement. And if you're hearing this, I feel like you're meant to. See if you could take the road less traveled. See if you could break a pattern. See if you could be the bigger person. See if you can do something that you don't normally do as a challenge to you. And know that by doing that, that you are creating a sharper radar for something greater. Know that by doing that, you are creating a conduit for something greater. Because I'll tell you what, when you lose your house, when one day things are great and you are inviting neighbors over to John Kim's Korean Spa, when you are lying on your driveway, taking in the Altadena sun, doing ice plunges and, talking into a microphone in your garage and listening to parrots and shit. When you're doing that one day and the very next day, there's nothing but ashes. You realize very quickly how short life is. And I'm not saying that you can't be angry. I'm not saying that you can't, stand up for yourself and all of that. Speak your mind, of course. But I'm just challenging you to take a beat, to take a pause, and lead with heart, lead with compassion, lead with forgiveness. We are all doing the best we can on this planet. And yes, of course, protect yourself. But also, if you, like me, have a pattern of being reactive, if you, like me, are fiery and short tempered and impatient, take a beat because life is short. Take a beat and see if you can stretch and see if you can lead with your heart, knowing that it's not about you, but you are inviting something greater. Thank you for listening. Be well.